Will we ever see an RMC Rocky Mountain construction coaster come to a theme park within the United Kingdom? This is a question which has been playing on the minds of many UK theme park and roller coaster enthusiast fans for years now, since RMC started launching their fantastic coasters all over the United States and across other parks in Europe and Asia. Welcome to Coasternaut, and if you enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe for future updates and news on the UK theme park industry and RMC coasters, as there'll be plenty more news and update videos in the future on the UK theme park industry. So then, RMC. People have been talking for years about their potential coasters coming to the UK, and in today's video we're going to be discussing if I can see any of their models coming to any theme park throughout the UK. So how we're going to structure the video is we're going to be talking about all of the different coaster models that RMC currently offers, and where I could possibly see these different models coming to parks across the country, and why I can see why it would be a good idea, or why I can't see certain models might go to other parks, when speculation has been around that certain types of RMCs might go to some of our UK parks, and why I'm going to try and disprove or prove these certain theories. So let's start with what is most commonly their most well-known coaster model, and what most people would probably want to come to the UK, and we're of course talking about their hybrid coasters with the wooden supports and the steel iBox track. However, they have made some fully wooden coasters such as Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City, and some fully steel coasters such as Airy Force 1. So these large hybrid iBox coasters, have fantastic airtime, some really whippy turns and transitions. They're well known for their super intense inversions and some of the craziest layouts we've ever seen on any coaster in the world. Now, if a park was to afford one of these, they'd be looking at an investment over £10 million. So that also hints that not every park is going to be able to afford one of these. But even the smallest hybrid coaster is 100 feet tall. That is the Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and therefore certain parks might not be able to build one of these as well, due to height requirements. So for example, Alton Towers, even though that is probably the biggest and most popular theme park here in the UK, is definitely not going to get one of these coasters unless it was a really unique and custom model, because they just can't really build one of these from what we can see from RMC's current portfolio, as it would not align with the restrictions that park currently operates within. As I said, due to the price tag, it's not really going to go to any other park other than probably Thorpe Park, in my opinion, if one was to be built. Thorpe Park could really do with maybe 150 feet tall, lots of airtime. Thorpe doesn't really have an airtime coaster, and neither does the UK as a whole, so we really could do with one of these RMC hybrid coasters. It would do a fantastic addition to the UK theme park industry as a whole. And for me, the only park I could currently ever see it coming to would be Thorpe Park, potentially Flamingo Land. If they were to build one on the smaller size scale, I should say, that was a massive tongue twister on my head there. I could potentially see Flamingo Land build one, or the only other possibility that I know people have spoken about for years now is the potential of RMC converting one of the old classic wooden coasters from Blackpool Pleasure Beach into an RMC hybrid coaster. Now, when we look at the coasters on offer at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I just can't see them converting any of them into an RMC, unfortunately. I would love to see it, but I just can't see it happening. The Grand National and the Big Dipper, these are two of the most oldest coasters in the UK and are absolutely historic icons of the UK theme park industry, and Blackpool obviously loves these. They pour so much money into maintaining these coasters, especially with the Big Dipper recently celebrating its 100-year anniversary. So I just can't see the park ever wanting to replace these coasters with an RMC. I think they hold too much history within the park, and therefore I can't see them wanting to ever convert them into an RMC. Nickelodeon Streak, it's probably a bit too small to turn into an RMC, so I don't think any of these coasters will ever be turned into a hybrid conversion. So if there was to be a hybrid coaster built, I think it would actually have to be a ground-up iBox steel hybrid coaster, similar to what Zadra is at Energylandia, and I think that the only park this could go to would be Thorpe Park. Can I actually see this happening? Probably not. We've not really seen many of these ground-up RMC hybrid coasters. I would love to see it. I mean, Zadra is fantastic. It's one of my favourite coasters I've ridden, but I just can't see it happening. It would be a great fit for Thorpe in terms of the airtime and the inversions, but I just unfortunately can't see it happening. Let's move on now to one of their very recent new coaster additions, and that would be the RMC Wild Moose. This is something they unveiled very recently, and it's designed to be a sort of family coaster, or a family thrill coaster potentially. This is based off the pre-lift sections that are featured on the hybrid coasters that include lots of mini outer banked hills and airtime bumps, and these sort of weird little elements that you can't really find on any coaster, but these RMC hybrid coasters in their pre-lift sections. So this is a very small coaster designed to be a reinvention and a modernisation of the classic Wild Mouse coaster. So I could potentially see this coming to a park like Blackpool Pleasure Beach to replace their old wooden Wild Mouse that they removed a couple of years ago. You know, this is designed to fit on a very small plot of land. There is an off-the-shelf model available that RMC revealed recently, as well as the potential to create a custom layout. And it is designed to replace these old Wild Mouse coasters, or potentially go to parks which haven't had the funds to build some of their other models. So I could see this coming to a park like Blackpool to be a great replacement for their old wooden Wild Mouse coaster, but I could also see it coming to some of the smaller family parks. Potentially Paulson's Park could do with something like this. It would be a really unique addition to that park. Maybe build it on the left side of the park over near Cobra. I think Drayton Manor this would be a really good addition for as well. You know, we don't really have any airtime at Drayton Manor, and for those younger thrill seekers, it could be the first time they experience a lot of these elements and a nice introduction to RMC. And also parks like Oakwood, which can't really afford many other larger additions, could really benefit from something like this. It would be really unique to the Oakwood theme park, and I would love to see one of these RMC Moose coasters come to the UK. And if you are interested in the RMC Moose, I've done a video on the channel as to why I think it would be a perfect coaster model to come to our UK theme parks, and describe more in detail there about where I could see the RMC Moose coaster coming to the UK. Let's move on now then to their final model, which is the Raptor. This is this single rail coaster model, and they have two layouts, what you've seen so far. One is a smaller, more compact and more intense layout, and the other is a larger layout, less intense, more graceful, sorry, but with longer trains and a slightly bigger capacity for larger theme parks. So far we've seen the larger one go to Six Flags Great Adventure and Six Flags Magic Mountain. I can't actually see one of those coming to the UK. I can't quite see a niche where that would fit. I don't think it has the throughput of a park like Alton Towers. I don't think it has the throughput either for something like Thorpe Park, and I can't quite see the benefit of any other park in the UK for buying one of these larger single rail models, because it will still be a big investment having to buy a lot of that steel iBox track. However, one of the smaller Raptor models that we've seen at parks like California, Great Adventure, Great America, sorry, I can really see this being a potential addition to the UK that would fantastically benefit our theme park industry. There are so many parks which I think could benefit from one of these, but the key one probably being Flamingoland. Flamingoland has lots of coasters which focus on inversions, and yes, this coaster does have inversions, but it is absolutely main focused on crazy ejector airtime, and like I say, we don't really have any ejector airtime here in the UK, and a coaster like this would work wonders at Flamingoland. It would be a truly standout coaster. It would put Flamingoland on the map for enthusiasts from all over Europe and the world, and not just in the UK, to have to come and visit Flamingoland. And you know, it would be a fantastic addition to Flamingoland. And if I'm honest, this is probably the coaster type from RMC which I can most see coming to the UK. I'd love to see a hybrid coaster, but like I say, it's only really Thorpe that we get one. I can't see Thorpe choosing to go with one. I'd love to see a Wild Moose, but this is a brand new model. We've not seen any of these coasters be built just yet, so I'd like to speculate and say it could go to some of our smaller, more family theme parks potentially, but we don't know anything really about the model just yet. So one of these Raptors, they're tried and tested, not too expensive for parks, full of fantastic airtime. It would be such a fantastic addition to one of our theme parks, somewhere like Flamingoland where the capacity isn't as important, and it would be a great addition for all that crazy ejector airtime. So what do you make of this? Could you ever see a RMC coaster coming to the UK, or do you think all of this speculation potentially about one coming to Alton Towers that we've seen recently teased by John Burton, it's all a load of rubbish really, and you know, can you never see one of these coasters coming to the UK? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. If an RMC was to come to the UK, what model would it be, and what park would it go to? Please do let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, and subscribe to the channel for more videos on RMC in the future. Thank you very much for watching.